Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and this time we are going to repair what is a Whirlpool washing machine from the American, because as you can see, this washing machine, when it is put to spin, it does not do the spin, it just turns. The agitator washes well and everything, but only turns the agitator. There are times that suddenly it grabs, but if there is a very strong blow or it starts to hit the clothes, well, now this video format changed a little. I am going to narrate it because I want to upload more videos to the channel, but I cannot be recording the clients' houses and speaking as if I were at home. Then I'm going to try to describe them, and let's see how it goes. You know that your doubts, because there is a little box of comments that I always answer. I don't usually take long. Well, this time we're going to have to change what is the entire complete close. The complete close is the one that is responsible for clutching everything that is the part of the tub so that it rotates completely. Well, the first thing we have to do is disconnect the washing machine. To avoid any incident, we have to remove the agitator. The top part is removed by making a small turn and taking it upwards. They have to do with it because sometimes it's to the right and sometimes it's to the left. It's not always the same, although many will say that it's always to the left. I've touched the other way around. We remove the screw from the center, we take it out here. It has two clutches, which is so that the agitator does not rotate like crazy. We remove them both and we have to proceed to lay down, which is the washing machine. Already having the side, we have to remove the components that they are going to get in our way. That in this case it is going to be the pump. The pump, we have to remove it by force. I do not recommend that you disconnect hoses because water can fall on the engine. Only disconnect the pump from the snaps. It is quite easy. Bring two snaps without problem. You can remove them. Excuse me if suddenly it moves or something, they can't see very well, but anything you can see. We remove the cables and remove the dirt. After that we have to remove what is the harness. The harness only has a little eyebrow and it is pulled and ready. Then bring 3 screws, which those 3 screws are average, and grab the transmission. I don't recommend that you remove the engine as it is, just remove the transmission, and once you have it removed, we will have to proceed to remove the complete transmission. How? It is done because it is only pulled backwards. Right now we have removed all the screws and we are going to proceed to remove it properly. Be careful with your fingers, do not crush yourself because things get stuck. The pump of the cables, you only pull it backwards and without problem it will come out. To me it can cost me a little more work because I am doing it with one hand, so always with one hand it costs a lot of work, but I try to bring you a little more of content and videos. You know that if you like my content, your like, comment, share, subscribe. You would support me a lot if you subscribe to the channels that are the description, that are 2, one for travel and one for a boxing, would help me quite good. Since we removed it, here you can see the cloche already slides by itself. Also they can do a cleaning, a sanding, and it remains, but in my case I change original parts always and new for greater durability. We remove the main washer, which is the one where the hollow arrow slides. We remove the safety, which is a flat safety that grips the normal arrow, the central, and after that, they look at the central part. It comes as another safe but round. That I'm going to remove the camera a little because it's difficult to remove it with one hand. It is removed with one hand without a problem. That's to put it well. Since we remove it, we have to look if your transmission is very dirty. You have to clean it since it can get oil. Close and slide again. If it is not very dirty, then leave it as it is, depending on the work you have paid, what you have charged. If it is yours, do everything you have to. You can even change the transmission seals to prevent it from continuing to pour oil. They are not very expensive and you will prevent it from continuing to throw oil on you. You will save a wool in the future. This washing machine is very well cared for, even though it already has more than 30 years. Then, well, according to the customer, right, well, we already got the new clothes. The new clothes practically comes semi-assembled. The only thing we have to do is turn it over, put the plastic washer on it, which is the one that will grip with the transmission sprocket. It is only put on, and it is put on the top to accommodate it. The only thing we have to do is move it, center it, and push it down, so that they hold me as shown in the video. What I always say, if you see that it doesn't fit you or doesn't fit you, Like to remove it and do it again, since it is easier to repair something that you already have disassembled than to take everything back apart. Well, since all this is put, we have to go back in the order, so the opposite of how we removed it, then put it in this case already. That we have it fixed, we have to put the round lock in this case. If I'm going to have to stop recording a little bit to put the lock, because if it's a little more complicated with one hand, with both it's quite easy, you're not going to struggle. We have to put that. It is just push it from the outside to the inside and you will not have problems. It already has a little eyebrow, how it is accommodated and everything, so you are not going to struggle after that, because we have to put what is the flat safety, that is the one that grabs the arrow. The normal arrow, if the safety is a little too much, you can tighten it a little so that it grabs a little better. It is difficult for that safety to come out, but well, if you fix it is something quite easy. It does not require much science, but they are tricks that you have to know, because many sometimes you don't know about changes, other parts that are not, and then you overspend. We put the washer or the slider where the bushing goes, which is from the hollow arrow, which is that bronze color that is there. We also have to remove what is the couplet of the cloche, which is that white part that we have there. If it covers a little, excuse me, that one only has a lock of half a fingernail. The only thing we have to do with screwdriver, take it out and change it. You have to check that the brake also slides, the hollow arrow barrel, if you can't remove it. Well, for that they will have to remove the nut from the tub, but they can remove it, sand it, clean it, and it would be good again. Well, let's change then what the couplet is. If you hear a lot of noise, it is because I am assembling the audio and I am still at work, okay? We have to remove that piece. They also bring it the kit. They do not have to spend more on the description of the video. I am going to leave you a link with the cloche kit. If you want to acquire it, you can buy it with me, and they would also support me on that side, and they would have a little more personalized advice. Well, we already changed it, and to put the transmission, because it is very easy, we only have to put the arrow in the part of the hub and push to the center. Be careful that nothing gets stuck, since it is very common that if something gets stuck and you're going to start battling here, the complicated thing is that you have to match the longest part of the cloche where the spring is, that should enter the white couplet. This part, look at that one that is longer, has to enter here in the white copal. If they don't do it well, they have to make sure that it looks super good, because if they don't do it well, they will start working and they will break the copal, and they will have to buy another copal, and they sell them loose. They are also not very expensive, but well, they avoid overspending. And also, if you are a technician, learn to never damage another part, because that is reflected in your profit. Then you can play with the prices a little lower, because you know that things do not fail you and you leave it well. You do not have to charge as the typical type. Sure, in case things fail you, well, we already have this connected. I say this put on, now let's assemble. Remember that it's the 3 screws, the wires, the ground, the pump and the harness of the connection come out. Well, now remember to put the agitator clutches just like they have position, that is, there is no loss, and then put the agitator. Remember that the agitator is tight when you arrive and a quarter turn more by a lot, since they have a little joint. If you put it very tight, you can sweep the screw, or you can even hoard, since they are rusty with time. Well, we already have it here, and we are going to try it in this case, because it already has to take full. It has already started to work. I not me for obvious reasons, so that you could see the video. I have bypassed the door lock so that you can see, but remove it works normal when you open the door. It is due to this, does not influence anything. This repair with that circuit. Well, here it was already working, and we are practically done. If you like my content, like, comment, share, subscribe, and see you until next time. You can too check out any other of my videos that are on the buy channel.